Hello everyone, hope you're well. Today is part 2 of my 2024 Singles Day Treat Yourself purchase. I got 2 alpha cards for Singles Day 2024, and this is the other one. And for this one, I want to talk about everyone knows, well, not everyone. There's a thing called the reserve list. I think plenty of people watching this, if they know the history of Magic, are familiar with it. But if there's anyone watching that doesn't, real quick, after Wizards printed a set called Chronicles that had a bunch of reprints, there was a big backlash from the community, and they enacted what they called the reserved list. And it was a list of cards that they promised that they will never reprint in that form ever again. This is not a reserve list card, but the reason I bring up the reserve list is, in addition to the reserve list, you can kind of think, with Magic being so old, 30 years ago, times change, what's considered acceptable changes. There's kind of an unofficial reserved list too. So not cards that they have come out and said they will not reprint in that way, but the art or the card itself is one in which they wouldn't reprint. So there are cards like Jihad that's considered culturally insensitive now, so that they're not going to reprint that. Short of another cultural shift and that being okay, you'll probably never see Jihad ever printed again. Now, this card has been printed many times, even in recent history, but there is something about the art on this card that you will definitely not see that art reprinted like that ever again. 4 overruns, rampant growth, not terrible cards. Good filler, nice filler. They trying to send me a message with sending me these bulk. I feel like they could send coded messages with the bulk that they send. So this alpha near mint common card is Unholy Strength. So probably what you will never see again, and why now this card is not reserve list, but why you will, what makes it kind of a little unique and special is that pentagram on the back. That flaming pentagram there, when Alpha first came out, it had a lot of demonic imagery, and especially the black cards. It was kind of based on Dungeons and Dragons a little bit and that kind of lore. And there was a satanic panic back then, is what it was called. And Wizards kind of trying to make sure their game was more accessible to more people, letting parents buy it for their kids and feel comfortable with that. Later versions of Unholy Strength, I believe Beta still looked like this. Probably Unlimited still looked like this. I think maybe it's at Revised that they took out the pentagram in this behind here. So even though this isn't a reserve list card, this art is something that is not going to be printed again, and adds a little, uniqueness to it. Centering on this isn't too bad, actually. And in addition to just being cool, a piece of history, this alpha card, they are extremely, just extremely cool that this has this history built into it. And, I only collect Magic cards because that's what I like, but I know from what I've seen in other collectible industries, being able to have a story with something like a painting. What's the difference between one painting being worth $100 million and then another painting by the same painter being worth a fraction of that? And often it's the story behind the painting, not just how rare it is, but also what kind of mystique behind it has. And things like this, adds a little bit of premium. Now, I'm not buying this to resell it, but one thing that makes me feel a little more comfortable spending some of my disposable income treating myself to this while it's on sale is that, you know, it is really kind of unique and a piece of history, and it'll be cool to show off. And, you know, 30 years from now, it can have a chance of at the very least retaining its value, but maybe even go up a little bit in value. But I love it. I'm going to add it to the collection. We're getting close to the end of the year, so I'll do a year review of how the Alpha collection is going. Didn't make a lot of progress this year, but we'll see how it is. Thank you for everyone who has subscribed recently. I appreciate it. Remember, if I get to 100, I'll do another box opening or collector box. I got a big stash of collector boxes from the past couple years. In the comments, let me know which one you'd like me to open. All right, see you next time.